He was rehired by that employer and participated in the same behavior, and then may have possessed child pornography he produced, Pittman said in explaining his decision to order Waltrip detained without bail. A Houston-based KBR spokeswoman had no immediate comment. The latest scandal further illustrates KBR's refusal to hold employees accountable for their actions. Last week, a former employee testified that a camp manager caught stealing from Iraqi palace was promoted by KBR rather than disciplined. Even more disturbing, more than 36 women who worked for KBR have come forward saying they were sexually assaulted by co-workers while stationed in Iraq. The alleged assailants will likely never face a trial, and KBR is determined to settle these allegations in private arbitration without public record nor transcript of the proceedings. In fact, Representative Ted Poe told a story that one KBR employee who told her supervisor she was raped found her rapist assigned right next to her. September 2009. Last year, in June 2008, the agency's Inspector General revealed that NSF, which is the National Science Foundation, which gets a lot of billions and millions of dollars of grant money from taxpayers, that NSF employees spent substantial amounts of work hours viewing pornography on government computers. In a 68-page report to Congress, the agency's watchdog said some NSF employees actually spent significant portions of their workdays watching, downloading, and emailing pornography without ever getting caught. In one case, a senior NSF executive spent at least 331 days viewing porn on his government computer and chatting online with naked women without getting caught. Investigators said the porn surfing cost taxpayers between $13,800 and $58,000. A separate employee accessed hundreds of pornographic websites during work hours in a 3-week period, and another was caught with hundreds of photos, videos, and slideshows containing porn. There were at least 10 employees caught using their computers for inappropriate purposes. None of the public employees were subject to criminal prosecution, civil court action, or debarment, though some got suspended for a short period of time. NSF officials assure that they have enacted more rigorous computer training and tightened controls to filter out inappropriate websites from work computers. Then again, they said that a year ago when the Inspector General published its scathing report. During the period from 2008 when the report was released to 2009 when these 10 more cases were found, this inappropriate use grew 6-fold, the recent investigation uncovered. February 2010, while the chief said he didn't know much of the information in the search warrant, he said he knew state police were investigating Schauwecker for possession of child pornography, and he knew that pornographic material had been seized from the computers in his office during the state police search of his department. February 2010, this just happened a couple of weeks ago, the work computer of one regional supervisor for the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission showed more than 1,800 attempts to look up pornography in a 17-day span. It was kind of distraction, per se, he later told investigators. But he wasn't alone. More than 24 SEC employees and contractors over roughly the past 2 years have faced internal investigations after they were caught viewing porn on their government computers, according to records obtained through the Freedom of Information Act and other public documents. Now, these articles are just a sampling of what's really going on inside our government offices that we, the taxpayer, are footing the bill for. We're paying for these guys to sit around at work and watch porn. These are only cases that made the press, and like I said, I was able to find in about 30 minutes of research. We all know there are more. The Inspector General's report says right there, the government filters aren't keeping workers from accessing porn in their workplace. How do these courts really expect parents to do something our own government can't? I also want to touch base on the whole premise that porn is artistic expression, so it should be protected by the First and Fifth Amendments. I'm not going to say that no porn has artistic value. There are some nicely produced movies with actual real plots. These amount to maybe 3% of the porn produced in America today, and remember, we produce 75% of the entire world's pornography. What I'm against is the courts could even begin to justify this defense for the average porn scene out there these days. We all know the majority of free porn on the internet today is cookie cutter porn at best. It's the exact same scene with the exact same storyline that is mass produced to push porn to the consumers as fast as they can. They produce porn this way because it's cheap, easy to shoot, and even easier to edit, so they can get these cookie cutter videos online as fast as they can. Saying this type of porn has any artistic value is an insult to true artists, and is like calling a McDonald's hamburger a type of gourmet cuisine. Next week I'll be talking about sex and porn addiction, what it is, how do you know if you have it, and what you can do about it if you do. This is a serious affliction that has taken over the minds of men and women in our country. There's a ton of scientific and educational research out there that proves there is a direct correlation between viewing and masturbating to porn regularly and becoming addicted to the process due to chemical reactions that happen during orgasm to the brain. The more you do it, the higher the chance is you'll become addicted to it. Scientific proof says it, and scientific evidence doesn't lie. Watch this episode to learn the facts for yourself. The Saturday's show has to be postponed and moved to Saturday, March 13th. I have an event this weekend which I have to go out of town to attend. I'll be walking for human rights everywhere, so it's an important event I'm excited to be a part of. On Saturday, March 13th, I'll be back to talk about the reality of reality shows, which aren't real at all. They are affecting our country and the way our youth behaves. They think these shows are real life, and they need to know they are all fake. These shows are training our children to act out these outrageous behaviors. I hope you'll all be back to talk about these important issues, because the decisions being made in America are affecting all of our lives. Thanks again for joining me for another episode of Pornography, Fantasy versus Reality. God bless and have a great night. I'll open the lines now for chat. Feel free to ask questions about anything related to porn, the government, the topics that I've been talking about. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you.